And it is genuinely rewarding when you do find a pupil that you can actually inspire, you know, and hopefully encourage them to fulfill their potential, make something of themselves. What about you?
What?
How'd you end up running a pub?
Oh, I just really like pubs.
I see. Well, thanks.
God help us all, but he's a boring so-and-so. Those poor children.
The talk of the street.
Talk of the street.
The talk of the street.
Talk of the street.
The talk of the street.
Talk of the street.
The talk of the street.
Talk of the street.
Hello and welcome to episode 387 of The Talk of the Street, an unofficial Coronation Street culture podcast that has 2 weeks off and is only carrying forward 4 into next year. I'm Gavin.
And I don't get paid time off anyway, so...
Oh, boo.
Oh, boo.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks off starting from 3 hours ago.
Ah, nice.
It has been a crummy week and
Oh,
a crummy month
I bet. And a crummy
and a
year.
crummy year.
Yeah, it's been a shit year. Let's be honest.
Honking.
Honking.
Absolutely rancid.
It's just like every day. Every day there's something new to be sad or mad or anxious about.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes all three.
Yes. Sometimes the same thing. All three.
Thank goodness then that we've had Coronation Street to turn to in these dark, dismal and uncertain times.
I wish.
That has been alright past couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I think overall it's not been a great year. I think
No.
that there's been peaks and troughs. I think when it's been
Yes.
good, it's been very good.
Yeah.
There's been long periods of darkness, as regular listeners will
Yes.
probably know.
Yes.
But anyway,
It had its moments this week, which we'll get to, I'm
Yes.
assuming, at some point.
so how are you anyway?
Yeah. All right. Enjoying working from home and cataloging records from home, which is nice, and comic books. And I have to go into work Monday for a little while. Other than that, if I have time while we're away, I can log in and do shit if I want, but I probably won't. I have this Roosevelt and Churchill book to finally get through. And I don't think I'm going to finish it before we leave, so...
Oh, you're not taking it with you.
Yeah, I'm going to have to.
Well, I can't work during the holidays
No.
because I've got to leave my laptop at work working. My laptop is, as we speak, chuntering away through reams of data
Yes.
that might be finished by the time I get back.
Oh, fingers crossed.
Or what's probably happened is that it hit an error 2 minutes after I left the building.
Right, and it's going to be stalled the whole time.
Yep, and it's going to be sitting with a little, should I continue, yes or no box?
Right,
or something
yes.
like that.
Or the Wheel of Death. Mm-hmm. Do love the Wheel of Death.
Yeah, you did a little action for it.
I did.
A little
You
twirly
did.
action.
You know when I hate the Wheel of Death the most? When you're watching something on a streaming service with ads, and it stops and it does the wheelie thing during one of the ads. Because it's like, you don't know what to do. Because you don't really want to exit out, because some of those streaming services, you're going to lose your place. Like, Tubi, you're going to lose your place. But
Yeah, but then you have the fun little game of trying to remember where on the scroll bar did you leave it and how close can you get? Because sometimes you can get super close.
you know what's nice?
Cake.
DVDs.
DVDs is nice.
DVDs are very nice.
Don't really see them very much anymore. Physical media.
Except at our house.
We got fucking VHS tapes in this house.
Hey, don't knock it. I just sold a VHS tape of When Harry Met Sally for $20 this week.
Oh, good. Just another 1,000 to sell then.
Is that the end of our banter?
I don't know. You tell me.
We need a break.
Yeah. So I don't know what our schedule for this is going to be like over the festive period. We're away until Boxing Day.
Right. So we should be home by Friday.
We come home on Friday.
Right. So, I mean...
We could do this on Saturday, I guess.
We could do it Saturday morning. Or, I don't know, are we going to get home at like midnight on Friday?
Depends on when we leave.
Ah.
The crack of dawn. We ride at dawn.
So much depends upon what happens when we get there.
Oh my God. Yeah. But we were talking about stress and anxiety and
right, yes.
stuff.
We're like, we need a break. Mm-hmm. Let's go spend time with family.
We need a break, so let's drive 12 hours to chaos. Let's do that. We ride at dawn. Ish. Shall we preamble, my dear?
Yes, please.
Give us some of that festive Corrie news. Ho ho.
Ho ho ho. Jack P. Shepherd has confirmed on-screen mum, Gail, played by Helen Worth, will pop in for Christmas on the show. How she will pop in?
I think has been revealed.
It's like on a screen. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I was trying to be kind of like nuanced, like, ooh, maybe she'll show up.
No.
No. Corrie News off to a good start. Corrie was on Tuesday instead of Wednesday this week due to the EFL Carabao Cup match. Is that how you pronounce that?
Cup match, yep.
No, the Carabao part.
Oh.
Carabao.
Carabao.
Okay.
Carabao, the League Cup.
Yeah. Joke's on them. I still watched it on Wednesday because I can do that. I saw it pop up on like my little YouTube alerts on Tuesday, and I was like, what the heck? I didn't have this on my schedule today. So I still watched it on Wednesday, which anybody can do. Instead of getting mad, just watch it on Wednesday.
I watched it on Tuesday. I've been so lonely without my neighbours in the morning
Oh,
that I took the Coronation Street that was offered to me. What I've started to do is
So
watch
sad.
Neighbours from 2012,
oh, nice.
which is when Amazon Prime have started it. So they go back to 2012.
Oh, nice.
And these are episodes that I haven't watched.
Okay.
So
Well, there you go.
So I've watched over the last day and a half 35 episodes, I think.
Oh,
7 weeks basically of Neighbours.
are you gonna maybe start Home and Away?
Yeah, they break for Christmas though,
Oh,
so they don't start until the new year.
that's smart.
Which is sensible, which I think
Very
is why
sensible.
Si and Sophie cover it on their Coastal News podcast.
Yes.
They get Christmas and New Year off.
Yeah. How nice for them to get holidays off from the job that they work that pays less than minimum wage.
Do you think we make more than minimum wage?
No, that's what I'm saying. We work on Christmas and we make less than minimum wage.
You're welcome.
And finally, the big quiz aired this week, pitting Coronation Street and Emmerdale actors against one another in a battle of wits, which Emmerdale won again.
Emmerdale won it again?
Yes. Maybe Jack P. Shepherd shouldn't be the captain of this team. Just saying. Just saying. No offense, Jack. You know we love you. The show also featured a trailer of the Corriedale crossover that featured lots of explosions, but thankfully no floating guns. Have you seen the trailer?
I haven't.
You haven't?
I'm finding it so difficult to get excited about it.
Yeah, I don't fucking care.
Of course you don't.
I don't watch Emmerdale.
There are a lot of people that do care and
which is
are
nice.
very excited about it. So I'm hoping that it's going to be not something that you need to have any forensic knowledge of Emmerdale to be able to enjoy. So we will see. But yeah, it looks like lots of things exploding. Somebody dies.
Yes.
Now, that could be somebody from the Emmerdale side. It could be somebody from the Corrie side. Or
It could be both.
somebody in the middle.
Or it could be somebody that, Shona is crying. So who knows? In fairness, I'm not hugely excited to see the Avengers Doomsday trailer when we go to see Avatar Fire tomorrow. So it's not just Corriedale that I no longer care about. And that's Corrie News.
That's quite sad.
Yeah. I just am very frustrated with the whole, in order to appease the dude bros, we're bringing both Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans back.
Into Coronation Street and the Corridales?
Yes. Yes. Robert Downey...
They should do crossovers more often then.
Robert Downey Jr. is going to play Dr. Doom in Corriedale.
Robert Downey Jr. might just get himself a British Soap Award next year then.
You know, I mean...
One can only imagine the acceptance speech.
I still don't understand why they haven't taken Snoop Dogg up on his offer, because that would be awesome. I want to see Snoop Dogg on Coronation Street.
Saying sup bitch to Rita.
Yeah. I was going to say, I mean, superheroes have been on other soap operas because, well, technically Margot Robbie is a supervillain as Harley Quinn, but anyway, that's Corrie News.
Well, thank you. That Corrie News, that festive Corrie News, no less. You can almost hear the sleigh bells ring as it guides us through the snowy mist to the feedback section that I like to call Everyone's a Critic. My bag is fit to burst, Helen.
Excellent.
So much correspondence to get through.
Woohoo!
Firstly, from Chris. Chris writes, the discussion about Rod Stewart having to be Scottish because of his surname, then other examples debunking the theory, made starting work stupidly early on a Sunday easier. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Stuart Little as a mouse. You're very welcome, Chris. That's what we're here for.
Although I read an article this past week saying that Stuart Little wasn't actually a mouse. He was just a mouse-sized person who resembled a mouse. Like in the book.
Moving further and further away from Rod Stewart.
Mrs. Little gives birth to Stuart.
Oh.
Instead of being adopted. So it's like the whole Hello Kitty thing, that supposedly Hello Kitty isn't actually a cat. She's a girl dressed like a cat.
That's creepy as fuck.
Yes.
And Rod Stewart's dad is Scottish.
There you go.
Well, Shema writes, hello.
Hiya.
Peter Barlow was apparently born on the 5th of April 1965, so he's 60. Robert Preston was born on 22nd October 1971, so he'd be 54 now. I'm not sure I subscribe to your theory of Peter Barlow being who Maggie had an affair with, but it seems more likely than Robert. And also, it was very stupid that they all sat down for a birthday tea, table groaning with food, and then Maggie says, let's go to the park, and they just leave it all behind. Among many unbelievable things, that was the one that stood out for me. So, well, Shem, I'm not sure that she buys into my theory that I made up as I was going along.
Right.
In last week's podcast.
You're not the only one who has this theory, though.
However, Tara pops up to say, Gavin, I think you might be onto something here with Peter and Maggie. They're actually less than 5 years apart in age. Christina isn't manipulating George, but she's definitely been a manipulator. And she recognises this in Theo as well. I love that this seems to be leading to Christina being Theo's downfall. Between this and her relationship with George, the writers are doing a good job redeeming this character.
Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. But yes, there does seem to be some legs in this theory about Peter.
Do we know how old Ben is?
Well, if he was 10 in the 1990s, then he's 42-ish. I would say he looks early 40s, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Which would make Peter 18 or 20-ish.
Yeah. Which?
Young but possible.
Biologically.
And Maggie a little bit older.
Right. But again, do we have any documentation of Peter being in Ireland during the 1990s at all?
Then Pamela writes, it's almost like we planned this. I was listening to the flagship, thank you Pamela, and Peter joined the Navy in 1980-81. Chris Gascoigne joining the show in 2000 was Peter retiring from the Navy after 20 years. I think he also served in Ireland, as I vaguely remember him talking to Jim MacDonald about it.
Interesting.
A sick thought if Peter was Ben's father, and if Megan was to get pregnant by Will, and her sleeping with Daniel was a cover,
Ugh.
a DNA test would show Daniel was the baby's uncle, not father.
Ugh.
Pamela's done some sterling work here.
Absolutely. Were you as disturbed as I was that they chose that scene as the thumbnail on YouTube for today's episode? It's like, really show you're gonna highlight that? You're gonna highlight the pedophilia?
Yeah, but they put a nice little white border around it.
Yes, that they stole from you.
I don't think they stole from me. I don't think I invented that.
No, but you did it first.
Pamela continues.
Okay.
You could maybe watch Scottish Peter in October 1978 arguing with Ken about joining the Navy, especially if it might connect to the current day Corrie for our classic.
Interesting.
We haven't decided what we're going to be doing for the January classic, and we need to get
that.
wriggle on with that.
We do.
Thankfully, we're back on Boxing Day, and then I'm off until the 5th, so
Right.
we have time.
And I only work 4 hours a day.
Right. Thank you for taking the time to make these shows. I enjoy listening and wishing you both a Merry Christmas from Scotland.
Oh, thank you so
Thank
much.
you very much, Pamela. Merry Christmas to you too.
Or
Say hi to Scotland for me.
Or Crimba.
Crimbo.
Crimbo.
Crimba.
With B-A-W, isn't it?
Listen to Helen pretending that she's from Airdrie. Then Daisy writes, "Hi, lovely Bar and Millhouse."
We both wear glasses, so I guess we're both Millhouse?
I think so. Cowabunga. Thanks for your amazing work all year. We have a box of things for you genuinely leaving Scotland this week.
Aw.
That have been too long in my house. I'm absolutely delighted that Helen has a new job. Was worried about her and how she was work-wise. So great, she can mostly work from home too. We love to see it.
Oh, thank you.
I'm on tenterhooks for the Monday episode of Todd and Theo. Genuinely looking forward to how they might do it. Other than that, Carla's a cunt. Debbie is amazing. And I cried at her post-its. Kev is annoying. Can't believe Daniel is getting boned. And Glenda is my idol.
Is Daniel
Goodbye.
getting boned?
I think
though?
so. I think he got some action the other week. Some euphemism with oat milk, remember?
Right, yeah. That could be anything.
As far as Daniel's concerned, yeah. That could be Scrabble. Thank you very much, Daisy. Then David writes, "Dear, what's his name in Thingamajig?" I'll be Thingamajig.
You're obviously what's his name, because
Okay.
those are your pronouns.
I am someone who actually likes when Corrie tries to tell a story in an unusual way, and I enjoyed this Monday's Security Cameras Only episode, as depressing as the material was. Poor Todd. Reminded me of the excellent Cold Comfort episode of Inside Number 9. Have you ever watched Inside Number 9?
I am aware of Inside Number 9.
Me
I'm
too.
intrigued by Inside Number 9. I've never watched Inside Number 9.
League of Gentlemen put me off it. Because it's the
Actually-
same people, I think.
Actually, I think I did watch one episode of Inside Number 9, but it was like 4 years ago, so
Well, we need to look out for Cold Comfort.
I've watched a lot of things since then.
That said, last Monday's episode with the woeful Driscoll flashbacks was awful. What was the point? Am I supposed to be worried about some bloke I've never seen before falling down some stairs? Anyway, keep up the good work. P.S. I like Sean. Thank you, David, who is dead deer in blue sky.
I like Sean too. I've liked Sean. I've liked the more recent Sean when he's snarky
Oh,
at the Rovers.
right. Snarky in the Rovers,
Yeah.
not towards the Rovers.
No.
Right, yeah. The No writes, "Greetings to Screech and the Bald Man."
You're the bald man.
And you're Screech. From coastal New Hampshire.
Oh, there is no. Oh no! Remember, there's that teeny tiny bit of coast in New Hampshire. It's like 5 miles.
13, I think it was.
Yeah,
13 or 16.
it's not very much.
But it counts.
It does.
So when you have a trivia question about how many states border the Atlantic,
remember,
you have to
New Hampshire.
I've been waiting for someone to pick up on the appropriate use of the Rod Stewart song Maggie, whilst the show is in the midst of 2 storylines involving older women grooming boys. It's late September and I really should be back to school. Indeed. Ugh. How about a new segment entitled Caught in the Wild? It would be when a cast member from Corrie is spotted on a different show. I'll start with Robert's pregnant girlfriend showing up as a police captain on Hope Street. Apparently she moved up in the world when she arrived in Irishland. Meanwhile, also on Hope Street at the local pub you'll find Clint, who's married to its proprietress, and lo and behold, he shows up as Ben, who's with the new landlady of the Rovers. Typecasting? And lest we forget that Theo is in reality the problematic but lovable Officer Burns in The Archers. where a newly minted Daisy arrives as a young influencer who foolishly becomes engaged to a young lad who is serving time for being a general dickhead. How about an Archers and Corrie crossover? That would be fun, because half of it would have to be on the radio.
Right, yes. And also Daisy's not there anymore.
To finish off, Will's hair is stupid. We need to hear more of Eva's signature laugh. Daniel moving in on Will's paramour is hilarious. And can we line up Carla, Swain, Becky and Betsy to give them the old Three Stooges face slap right down the row? One last thing to get off my chest. I don't like Carla, and I never have. She's arrogant, entitled, and a nasty piece of work who reacts to her miserable personal life by being unforgivably rude to the employees of Underworld. That's enough for now. Noel, the reluctant American. Well, thank you very much, Noel. It's good to hear from you again.
Yeah, reluctant American. But American on purpose?
Don't know if he's like me, an American on purpose. Maybe.
Yeah. Reluctantly an American on purpose.
If he's watching Corrie and listening to the Archers, he's doing everything in his power to erase that.
Suppose we shouldn't say too much.
Then Gavin writes...
You wrote yourself?
Nope. Well, this is another Gavin. Gavin says, superb podcast as ever. Had a double take when Coatbridge was mentioned. Yes, Gavin, and I mentioned Airdrie specially this week as well. Thank you ever so much to Gavin, to Noel, to David, Daisy, Pamela, Tara, Welsh Emma and Chris. Thank you very much indeed, folks, for your feedback. It's always welcome. Send us your thoughts and I'll probably read them out. Get us at thetalkofthestreet@gmail.com, or our DMs are open at Corrie Podcast. So we love it when people write actual letters to us. Send us your proper mail to the Talk of the Street, PO Box 12, Eaton Rapids, Michigan, 48827. And we haven't checked the PO Box yet, but I will be there tomorrow.
Bright and squirrely.
Please note that we reserve the right to edit feedback, but only in the interests of brevity. And now we'll podcast for coffee. Thank you to Fiona B for our coffees this week.
Thank you, Fiona.
Fiona writes, Happy Christmas, Gavin and Helen.
Aw.
Another year without watching a single episode, but you remain my number one podcast. I'm only in your top 7% of fans, though, somehow. I don't know how that works.
I don't know either. And I think it depends upon your podcast provider of choice.
Does it?
As well. Because I don't think it counts every podcast provider all at once.
No, it's just Spotify, I think, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, they all do different counts. Because like Amazon Music, you can get podcasts on Amazon Music and it counts. And I'm sure Apple does something as well. I'm sure. Although I don't know. I haven't gotten anything from Apple. Everybody does the end of the year shit.
I know. Starbucks did their end of the year shit for me. Apparently, I like coffee. Thank you for my Starbucks Wrapped. Fiona continues, please make Helen's dubious animal facts a regular feature. I was howling at the drowning turkeys. Big love to you both. Well, thank you very much indeed, Fiona.
I forgot all about the drowning turkeys.
Yes, and the sheep that don't have necks, they have wool.
No, they don't have necks. And they have wool. The wool doesn't replace their necks.
Well, my question to you last week was, well, what connects their head to their body? And you said wool.
It's just their body.
The Talk of the Street.
Oh, have you seen the...
Shaun the Sheep's got a neck, so shut up.
Have you seen the trailer for that Sheep Detectives movie?
No. The Talk of the Street is and will always be free on your podcast provider and on your YouTubes. But if you think a show is worth anything more than the time it takes to listen to it, if you want to show your appreciation, or if you want more weekly and monthly content, here are your options. Sign up to be a friend of the podcast for as little as $2 a month. You can sign up at patreon.com/thetalkofthestreet, ko-fi.com/thetalkofthestreet, or hit the join button on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thetalkofthestreet podcast. Friend of the podcast get access to our weekly spoiler show, The Talk of the Street Spoiler Alert, and our monthly classic Corrie show, The Talk of the Street Classics. And if that wasn't enough, you also get a shout out at the end of every podcast and your name on the credits of the main show. If you prefer something a little less formal, you can also buy us next week's coffee, just like Fiona did, by going to ko-fi.com, that's ko-fi.com/The Talk of the Street. and all the links can be found at linktree/Corrie Podcast. But remember, you can always support the podcast for free and get us in front of new listeners by liking, subscribing, rating and reviewing wherever you get your podcasts. So thank you very much indeed, Fiona, for our festive coffees.
Yes,
I am
thank
drinking
you.
peace tea as usual.
And I'm drinking water with a splash of lemon juice.
Ooh.
We will especially need those coffees next week when Gav will be driving for 12 hours one day and then 12 hours back. And I will offer to drive and he will say, nay bother.
Again, Helen with the accent.
And then complain.
Like you're from Cardonald.
And then complain that he had to drive the whole time.
Yeah, it's part of Christmas, isn't it?
It's part of Christmas. Just like stopping at Sheets and going, aw, Sheets.
I'm looking forward to Sheets this year.
Do love the Sheets.
I'm looking forward to eating something and then getting terrible diarrhea.
Hence
All right.
the Sheets.
Shall we dive in, my dear?
Yes, please.
Our first storyline this week is Theo No Sleeves. Now, this is a very special episode.
Yeah, and I imagine it was hard to take notes on this.
Yeah, and it's told through CCTV, but with sound and door cams and body cams and security cameras.
And picture frame cams.
And it's probably something that needs to be seen. It might not work that well being described. And also, let's not forget, it is officially a flashback. It's also a flashback episode.
Kinda.
Because we're travelling back to last Monday, December the 8th. And Sarah's turned up to see Todd, who is like a hen in a hot girdle trying to get dinner ready. He reluctantly lets her in, and then when Theo gets home, he predictably is pleasant to Sarah, but then is an absolute shitbag to Todd when she's gone, blaming him for being bad for his mental health. But then to rub it in, Theo announces that Gary's coming over to watch the football.
Right,
and
yeah.
this is almost like in the same breath that
Yeah.
he's berating Todd for Sarah coming over, and now Gary's coming over.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's like, this is what happens, isn't it? Where the man complains that your friends are over all the time and yet has all his bros over to watch football
Right.
and drink beers and make a mess.
Mm-hmm. That's Gary.
It's Gary.
Does Gary and Todd, do they get on?
I imagine they get on. I haven't seen them ever not get on, but they're not bros.
They're not bros.
No.
They're definitely not bros.
Gary and Theo are bros, though.
So Todd's resigned to getting out of the flat and going to the pub, which angers Theo because he says, oh, now I feel like I'm chasing you out. So Todd's not allowed to go out.
Right.
He
needs
goes
to
to his room.
sit in the bedroom with his laptop and masturbate.
Sounds like a fun night in. After Gary goes, Todd comes out and says that he's been watching It's a Wonderful Life, which Theo hasn't seen because he's a monster.
He is a monster.
They argue when Todd accuses Theo of switching off the fun when it's just the two of them, so Theo smashes Todd's laptop and stamps on it.
Yeah. Just for good measure.
It's Wednesday night now, and things have calmed, and the two of them get their hold of the Horny Devils. And then it's Friday night, and Todd is eating crisps on the couch when he hears Theo coming up the stairs, and he quickly hides the evidence. Theo comes in drunk, says that their impeccably tidy flat is a tip, and then finds the crisps, so gets torn into Todd for being a lazy, fatty boom boom who's not taking the training seriously.
Right, and trying to force him to eat the crumbs from the bag that has been in the garbage.
Yeah, and he starts throwing the crumbs at him and accuses him of ruining his mental health. And when Todd locks himself in the bedroom to get away from him, Theo kicks the door in. And this'll be the argument that Gary overheard. And what we should have got here was George calling, but we didn't get that. We didn't see that. But
No.
it should be nice to, from a completion point of view, to tie back to that. In the aftermath, Todd is holding his side, and Theo has cut his hand or his arm on a glass that got smashed in the violence. Theo says that he doesn't feel safe with Todd, and so locks him in the bathroom, maybe?
Yeah.
He locks him in a room or a cupboard or something,
Yeah.
and then leaves the flat.
Which is horrible.
Yeah, and then he leaves the flat.
Right. Which is horrible.
Right.
It's also horrible. It's like, it gets to be almost too much where you kind of have to pause the episode and go do something else for a little while and then come back to it.
And this is what we were worried about, I think, last week, because last week was done so well and so effectively. I'm not saying that this wasn't done well or effectively. I will give my opinion of it in a little bit. But the thing that we enjoyed more of it last week was we didn't see anybody. What we saw last week was just the empty flat, quiet.
Right.
And that was really foreboding and then really effective.
Hearing other people talk about it, like Gary saying, oh, they had this, I heard them like fighting and
so there's kind of the effectiveness of imagining the unknown and doing it's kind of hard not to do a decent job when you imagine how bad that could have been if we're not getting to see it. But then we do get to see it. So it seemed like we were doing something last week to substitute seeing it.
Right.
And then we see it this week.
But on the other hand, we are removed from it because we are seeing it through these picture frame cameras.
Yes.
So there's a remove that we don't typically have.
There's a lack of intimacy
because it's through these cameras.
It's not the TV camera, which
right.
is our eyes, basically.
We're not getting close-ups. We're not seeing people's full faces or the full actions of one another.
Right.
So, which I did find interesting and effective.
Yes, I agree. So Theo doesn't come back until Saturday morning, I think, when he finally lets Todd out. And by this time, Theo is in his chuckling, calling Todd Toddlington sort of mood and gives him a hug.
Right. And I locked you in the bathroom. So funny. Such a funny joke.
Later in the evening, Theo wants to go for a run despite just having dinner. And when they get back, Theo and Todd watch It's a Wonderful Life together, which makes Theo realise just for a moment of what an absolute cunt he's been. But it doesn't last.
Right, yes. And he makes it all about himself once again.
Yes. Sunday morning, when the subject of fixing Todd's laptop crops up, Theo offers to take it to get fixed, but doesn't know when he's going to get to do it. So Todd says, well, I'll just go and get it done today then.
Right, yes. Which makes Theo mad. Theo
loses his shit because Todd wants everything fixed now, and then there's more violence.
But you don't get to see everything, so...
And again, that's what's the
right.
the scariest part of it all.
Right.
And I think it is scary to watch.
Oh, absolutely. It's like those movies.
Those movies that they have?
Those movies that they have where you're like the
found footage.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. Like that one horror movie where it's all the cameras. No. Blair Witch Project was like the first and is still the scariest movie I've ever seen. But there's the other one.
Paranormal Activity.
Yes, Paranormal Activity.
Oh, I feel like I was doing an awful lot of work to get there. Later in the evening, George and Christina come over, worried that they haven't seen Todd, but Theo easily bats them away, saying it's important that they go before Todd comes home.
Right, and don't tell Todd you've been here.
When George notices the bandage on Theo's arm. So when Todd comes home, it becomes clear that Theo has been tracking him on his Liz Tramp tracker thing. And this is it for Todd.
His Fitbit. His Apple Watch.
Todd yells at Theo, says that he's suffocated by him, and throws the watch at him. And this obviously infuriates Theo, who then attacks Todd, calls Todd a big man, sticking his chest out and stuff.
Fuck you.
And then the next we see, the police are on the scene after Bernie and Dev have reported a disturbance, and Todd is taken to the station where he's interviewed by Kit. Todd explains what happened in very vague terms of there's been rows and fights like every couple have, and it got out of hand, and it sounds very much like Todd might have killed Theo at this point. Because Todd's almost removed himself from the room. He's there, but he's not really there. And
he's also clearly exhibiting the mannerisms and the speech of someone who's been abused.
I thought he also came across as someone who's deeply in shock.
There's that, but there's also, the not looking at Kit, the kind of, being hunched over, kind of rubbing his arms, the excuses this is the sort of thing that happens in every relationship. I'm sure this happens between you and Sarah. And Kit's like, no, actually, it's not. And just the way Kit is with Todd makes it really seem like Kit is aware that Todd is being abused.
See, I thought for a while that it did sound like Kit was trying to help Todd, but then it also sounded like he might be trying to get Todd to incriminate himself. I was very much pleased with Kit and then very much angered at him.
I mean, he still has to do his job, but the way that he's talking to Todd makes him realize that, yes, Todd has done something, because obviously Todd has done something, because we don't see Theo.
At this point, we do think that maybe...
Evil dies tonight!
Yeah. Again, no such luck.
No such luck, though.
Yeah, I thought that was handled very well, and I thought Gareth did a really good job.
Oh, Gareth Pierce throughout this...
So good.
Has been incredible.
So good.
I think they're both very good, but I think Gareth Pierce has been asked to do a bit more.
Yes.
And
it's fantastic.
And he's doing it to an incredible standard.
He needs to be nominated for every single soap award out there.
I imagine it's coming, yes.
And also the Oscar. And a Golden Globe, why not?
Beating Robert Downey Jr. into second place. If that happens. So, Todd says that Theo had him pinned to the ground, and he said, "You've seen Theo, he's a big, strong man."
Yeah, and
he was hurting me, and
smaller.
All Todd did was fight back. He didn't mean to hurt Theo. And then Kit arrests Todd officially, and then we see what happened in the flat. Todd told Theo that they're not good for each other, and he said that this isn't working, and he ordered Theo to leave. So Theo pushed Todd pushed him back, and he fell into a table where presumably he bumped his noggin, and this would have been more than enough to kill Alan.
And Stu's girlfriend, and also both of the Teds.
What other Ted?
Well, there's Ted, Ted the dad of Leo.
Single Leo, yeah.
Yes, and then Ted the old man that got knocked over by Faye.
Oh, right.
When Ella was teaching him how to drive, teaching her how to drive, and it killed him.
Yeah. Okay.
Dead Teds.
Fine.
Dead Teds everywhere.
The place is littered with them. And then there's Gay Ted, but he died of natural causes. Or
so we're led to believe.
Because he humped Audrey. So, anyway, so we trip into Monday morning, and Dev, Bernie, Sarah are in the flat, shocked at the mess. Because, remember, Theo's kicked a door in.
Yes.
You just don't know what goes on behind people's closed doors, says Bernie, which is a weird thing to get annoyed about.
But I understand it.
But it annoyed me because is that what you say? Because I think what you say is you just don't know what goes on behind closed doors. But what Bernie says is you just don't know what goes on behind people's closed doors. Because, who else owns the doors apart from people? You just don't know what goes on behind the dog's closed doors.
See, I thought that you were bothered because it's so very judgy, which does not seem like something... does not jive with Bernie's personality.
I don't think it's judgy at all. I think what she's saying, obviously, is people put on a face for the outside world, but when it's just them, who knows what happens? I don't think it was judgy. You thought it was judgy?
I thought it was a little judgy, especially coming from Bernie, who has had her own closed doors, so to speak, in the past.
Yeah, and I think she's probably including herself in that.
Yeah, it just... especially since Todd and Theo are no longer there, and they're just walking through Todd and Theo's place, looking at the disaster area, which I can understand Dev doing. Mm-hmm. But the fact that Bernie and Sarah are also there, it's like, this feels inappropriate.
Yeah. They're literally going through their
Right,
dirty
yeah.
laundry. Well, not literally. Figuratively going through their dirty laundry.
Right, yeah. Looky loose.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Theo is chirpy as fuck at the hospital and is alive and well.
Yes, yeah. Does not even have a bandage on his head. There's no head wound of the week. It's just... What happened to... Because they don't bandage anything.
I think it's still head wound of the week. Because there was blood. There was blood behind his ear.
Was there?
Mm-hmm. Quite a bit of it.
Yeah, but like...
But no bandage.
No bandage. You know, they're not monitoring him just in case he has a concussion.
No, he's sitting up ready to go home.
Yeah, which should not be happening if he's got a head wound. They should be keeping him overnight to make sure he doesn't have a concussion.
He's interviewed by a PC, but tells them that he doesn't remember anything about the incident. George and Christina show up. They're like, what the fuck are they showing up for? But it's Theo who's called them and tells them that Todd is in the nick after a row turned physical. George and Christina seem to fall for it and seem to take Theo's side. Poor Theo, says Christina. I found it impossible to believe that George and Christina are almost siding at this point with the person that they barely know and who Christina doesn't trust.
Yeah, it also felt very manipulative for Theo to call them instead of, say, Gary.
Yep. Or nobody.
Or Danielle. Or is she in Tenerife already?
I think it was Lanzarote she was going to.
I thought for sure it was Tenerife. I have to check my spoiler alert notes.
You did say Tenerife and spoiler alert, but I think they said Lanzarote on the show because it made me think Tracy's got a Cortina.
You know what? There was something else, and we'll get to it. But there
was something else.
There's
that we'll
something
get
else in another storyline where in the spoilers it said one character said something, but in actuality it was another. And I'm wondering if people online are just fucking with me.
There's also another one where something was something because of something.
Right, and it turns out it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And in my defense, when I said something was probably for something, I did use the word probably because it was speculative.
Ah, gotcha.
Yes.
So, I'm glad we got that sorted out.
However, that other thing, the person changed their race. So
Oh, wow.
it was very much a
That's a big
different
change.
person.
I'm not sure I remember that then.
At least they didn't change their gender.
Theo goes to the police station later and speaks to the same PC and tells him that he remembers the row, but it was just about a pushing and shoving and it was a trip. The PC talks to Theo as though he's the abused party and offers some pamphlets.
Which was hilarious.
After a couple of hours, Todd is released from the police station.
I don't
and
want your
Theo-
fucking pamphlets.
And Theo is waiting for him and hugs him. Back home at 2 a.m, they survey the mess as Todd apologises. Theo says he doesn't know who Todd is anymore.
He likes to say that.
Likewise, says Todd. And Theo thinks that Todd's agreeing with him.
Right, yeah.
But Todd's saying, no, I don't know who you are anymore. And this angers Theo, who in the mess...
really does.
Who in the mess finds the camera photo frame, and we're like, oh.
Yeah.
This is a problem about having secret cameras, is that sometimes the secret cameras get discovered. And then somebody's got a lot of splaining to do. But the splaining waits till Wednesday. Because that's how the very special episode finishes.
Yes. Now,
Thoughts on the very special episode, Helen?
I thought the framing was very effective. There are aspects of the story that frustrate me because they're basically copy and pasted from Yasmin and Tim's dad. The victim being the one who's caught harming the manipulator.
Yes. And the manipulator making sure that they come across looking like the victim.
Right.
Yes.
Yes. We've seen that already.
We've seen all of this already.
Well, I know, but you know, you want to give them the benefit of the doubt because it's like, oh, well, it's different because it's two men and blah, 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 blah.
And I think
but
it is.
then, right, yes. But then that becomes like the only difference because then they basically are just using the same story, only Theo's a scaffolder and not a magician.
Yes. And at no point has anybody dressed in a red dress that is 2 sizes too big for them.
Correct. Well, not yet.
Not yet.
Anyway. So that sort of frustrates me. The fact that Theo finds the camera kind of frustrated me as well. And I suppose that's really the only way they could have ended this episode.
Well,
but it also means that all of this evidence that Todd has to defend himself no longer exists. And also what happens on Wednesday is going to happen.
I thought this was a fantastic episode.
Yeah.
I thought it was really, really, really well done. Like you said, it was almost unbearable to watch at times. It was something that benefited from pausing the video and going and get a cup of tea or thinking about something else and then
standing
and then
outside
coming
in
back.
the freezing cold.
It was very effective at what it was trying to do, and I really don't care that much for the bells and whistles and the extras, but I thought this was very well done, and it was very well done, I think, as well, thanks to the people that were involved in it. And not just the actors, but Matt Hilton was the director of it, and he's a safe pair of hands.
Yes.
And yeah, I enjoyed it. I think I thought I was, as much as anyone can enjoy it, I thought it was done superbly. And I really thought as an episode, as a standalone special, this is the sort of thing that I want to see as a special episode. Mm-hmm. But I don't want to see this every week.
No.
And I don't want to see this multiple times in a month. I want to see this infrequently, once every few months, a couple of times a year.
Yeah.
And then it's much more effective. This was a week after the Irish flashbacks.
Right, yes.
Week.
And we got a breather for a week of seeing Theo abuse Todd. And then we got just a triple whammy.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, after a while, it does wear on you. And again, when it follows similar lines to other similar stories, then it becomes frustrating because you're like, oh, wow, the way that they're framing this is really good. And this is really well shot. And it's very clever and it's really interesting. And oh, they're going to do the same thing over again. It shoots itself in the foot with a floating gun.
Do you think it's as serious as that?
What do you mean by serious?
That it shoots itself in the foot? Because I think the storyline is still effective, but it is rerun and rehashed from the Yasmin and Tim's dad. But I think it's still an effective storyline.
I think the way that it was shot was very effective. I don't find the story effective because there are so many similarities and because there are so many other storylines where people are being gaslit and abused by family members and partners and the world is so terrible already that I just want to sit with the Driscolls and eat food and listen to Sean be snarky with Glenda and gossip and stuff and maybe not and watch Tim be an adorable father and maybe not have quite so many of these storylines all together at once.
I don't care for them all together.
I mean, I still watch sad movies. I watched Train Dreams today. Then I watch something that's not sad. Mm-hmm. Or I go do something that's fun. Like read about Winston Churchill.
You just know how to treat yourself.
I do.
The thing that frustrated me specifically about the events of Monday, and I'm very aware of, speaking from the perspective of someone who has not been in this sort of situation, but Todd had the evidence or had access to the evidence as he's been interviewed and didn't mention it. And it made me wonder, what's the point of having the cameras?
Well, so that Theo can find them.
If you're not going to use them.
Right.
Because he says that it's for Theo's protection as well. And I think Todd probably had some ideas, some noble ideas of showing Theo, this is what you look like when these sort of things happen.
Right. Yeah, because he got it after Theo started hitting himself.
Right. But he knows what happened in that flat. He knows that it's been recorded from several different angles. He looks like he's on the hook for this as far as the police are concerned. But he doesn't say anything.
Because he still loves Theo.
I know.
Because as an abused person, logic kind of flies out the door.
Exactly.
And you don't want people... It's bad enough that everybody knows that they had this row and have seen the broken glass and everything. So, in kind of a mixed up way, to admit that he's filming his partner with these secret cameras is to admit that his partner is somebody he should not be with and is not safe. And unfortunately, Todd is not quite at that place.
Right.
He keeps getting close. And this is the thing that frustrates me, is that he keeps getting close. He keeps saying things like, we are toxic and we shouldn't be together. But then something happens that pulls him back in. And what is pulling him back in is the guilt that he has hurt Theo, who he still loves, even though it's toxic.
And maybe it is that aspect of it that is hard to believe.
Unless you've been there.
Because this has been, and we've said this before, that the Yasmin and Tim's dad storyline was something that built up over a longer period of time. I'm not sure that we've seen enough to believe Todd when he says that he loves Theo, and vice versa. Because they've really been through horrific and traumatic events like the Noah stuff and the Danielle stuff.
Right, which is unfortunately now like a faint memory. I think I just want to say one last thing. I think there's an aspect of that in this too, is that in the beginning, Todd was under this impression that he was saving Theo, that he was the white knight here. And now it's kind of turned on its head. And so I think the reason why Todd fell in love with Theo in the first place is no longer existent. So he's really in a confusing spot.
On Wednesday then, it seems that it's the next day when Theo has fixed the door and obviously demanded to know what the camera stuff is all about. Todd says that he did it for him. Theo wonders what people would say about this if they knew, and he says that he doesn't like being spied on, but before Todd can say neither do I, which he absolutely should do, because remember,
yes,
this is what sort of sparked the whole thing, George arrives, curious to know what happened. Theo says it just got a bit out of hand and he tripped over the coffee table and that was it. To make up for it, Theo invites George and Christina for lunch. Meanwhile, Bernie's chatting to Billy and Summer about the row that she heard, and Summer just can't see Todd being the violent type. Summer tells George about what she heard about the other night, and the passing Bernie adds that the flat was a fucking bomb site when they went in.
Right.
And the door was hanging off the hinges, and she doesn't think it was just a simple argument, and notably, Summer isn't around to hear this. George and Christina come round, and Theo is the perfect host as he forces Todd to apologise for how they fell out, and George is sorry too and offers him his job back, which Theo accepts on Todd's behalf.
Huzzah! Which is funny because let's not forget, Theo was the one who said, oh, do you really think, maybe you shouldn't be a undertaker anymore. It's a spooky job. Why would you want to do that? Wouldn't you much rather be a telemarketer?
Or climb up pieces of metal. During dinner, Todd is on edge, and it gets worse when George brings up what Bernie told him about the mess and the door and all that stuff. Theo laughs it off, blaming it on being drunk and Todd losing it, but he insists it was a drunken row. After George and Christina leave, Todd isn't happy that Theo was making out that this was all Todd's fault, but Theo says, well, it was all your fault, and he gaslights Todd by accusing Todd of gaslighting him. Todd's had fucking enough of this.
Yes.
Theo thinks Todd and Danielle work from the same playbook and says he'll prove to Todd what he's been up to, and he goes off to the room with a laptop. This was a bit ridiculous, so he emerges hours later with a director's cut of what happened the other night,
right,
edited to make it look like Todd was 100% at fault.
Yeah.
And I just simply don't believe that Theo has the technical capabilities of making that video.
Well, it was a very rough cut. The thing that I don't believe, the thing I fully don't believe, is that overnight they're able to not only clean the flat, replace the coffee table
and the door,
but replace the door.
Mm-hmm.
That's the part. I mean, I know that Theo is apparently good with his hands with this sort of thing, but you have to go out and you got to buy the door. You got to make sure you get the right door. You got to measure. You got to, hinge and all that stuff.
I think it was just the hinge that he had to replace was kind of how he made it sound. But even so, it's, I think, a more significant piece of work than they were suggesting. But also, and I can't say this is the same for every video editing software, but the thing that you are editing, the original is untouched.
Right.
You import that. You import the original footage into the tool, into iMovie or Premiere Pro or whatever, and then that's what you cut up.
Right.
But the thing that you're using as a source is intact because you want to use it again, perhaps. Or
right.
So, and I don't expect Theo to know that, but I maybe think that maybe Todd would know that.
Well, who downloaded it onto the
laptop in the
first place? Because remember, it was the broken picture frame that recorded that, which I thought Theo smashed up and threw in the garbage. But apparently not. Apparently, not only did he not do that, but it was intact enough where he could download the information. Unless it's one of those like picture frames where the pictures are like automatically uploaded to your computer. But then again, when did they get Todd's laptop fixed? Is this Theo's laptop? Does Theo own a laptop?
I don't know. It's getting a little messy here. I think they've been a little bit too specific about things. And
right, yes. There's an awful lot of willing suspension of disbelief here.
Yeah, and I get there are people who have no interest whatsoever in video editing who just take this as it's presented.
Right, yes.
But
it's like how things go viral on the show.
Right. Todd says this is half the story and he's not the one who needs help. Theo starts listing off all the things that he's lost since he's been with Todd, his job, his wife, his kids, and Todd doesn't think any of that has anything to do with the edited highlights.
No.
So Theo has to change tact and suggests that they put it behind them and have no more torment going forward and no more mind games.
And also, Theo, you're gay. That's why you're not with your wife.
Right.
That's why you're no longer in a heterosexual marriage, because you're gay. Todd didn't make you gay.
I have to think Theo did this or tried to do this with Danielle as well.
Well, it is interesting that he says to Todd
about the playbook.
About, yeah, you and Danielle go from the same playbook. But I don't know, the way Danielle acts does not scream to me abused woman.
No, I think Theo has tried to control Danielle
and it doesn't work.
Found it impossible.
Yes. And that's why he does this to these men.
Yes.
Because let's not forget, here we thought that this was Theo just beginning to explore his sexuality, and he's already had this other full-blown relationship where supposedly he lived with another man and was able to manipulate that man and with coercive control and abuse him until he was able to meet the nurse that treated him after Theo hit him or whatever. So I don't know. There's a lot of sloppy stuff as far as Theo's backstory is concerned.
Todd agrees to the no more mind games and stuff, but pulls away from Theo's hand. Theo suggests that Todd goes to a counselling session with him, and Todd eventually agrees, but he's in a world of his own. How on earth did that end up here, he seems to be thinking, and that's as far as we get with that this week.
And also, I thought Theo wasn't really in counselling. Is he going to just start?
No, so he's going to have to suddenly start.
He's going to have to suddenly start and then somehow make it seem like he's been going all this time?
Yeah. Again, plaudits for Monday. I think it was an exceptional episode of Coronation Street. Again, I think it's a great episode of TV more than it's a great episode of Coronation Street.
Yes. I agree with that.
All right, we have talked about this for quite some time. So unless you have something additional to add to that, let's move on to...
I think we need to move on, yeah.
Let's move on to the girls. On
the
Wednesday...
girls. You got to say it right. You got to say the girls.
The girls. On Wednesday, Sally's putting up the most boring Christmas tree the new girls have ever seen. It needs an inflatable snowman, they pronounce. There's no inflatable anything going on that Christmas tree.
Or in that house, ever.
Sally's apologetic.
Except.
Yeah, in the boudoir.
Yes.
But Joanie reckons it's fine because they'll still have a better Christmas than their mother. The girls go to Dev's and Joanie steals a bottle of fizz for Lou's Christmas.
Prosecco.
But she and Shanice are caught by Maggie and do a runner. Quick, run for your life.
Run from the old Irish lady.
And Summer, who is so confused right now.
Yes.
She's so confused, I wouldn't have been surprised if she fell over. It's Tim's cab's office Christmas do tonight, and Sally asks Brody to babysit, which he agrees to do. Later, Summer visits number 4 for the first time in her life to grass Joanie and Shanice up to Sally about the theft of the booze from Dev's. Shanice tries to creep up the stairway of discovery and the fuck away from this conversation, but Sally's having none of that.
No.
Summer reluctantly agrees not to tell Dev, even though he has a strict policy about this sort of thing, and she hasn't been working long enough to get any credit in the bank with him, but if there's any repeat, she'll march them to the cop shop herself.
Dum dum dum.
And Shanice, the privy thing, shits herself. Later, it turns out that Brody can't babysit at all, so Sally...
Because he's an asshole.
So Sally gives Tim the green light to go to the party himself, and Tim doesn't wait to be asked twice. But later on, Joanie helps Sally finish the Christmas tree.
Yes.
On Friday, Sally has handcrafted decorations for the tree with the new girls' names on them.
Oh.
The girls are fucking delighted.
Yes, they are.
Sally and Tim are determined to make memories for them.
Shanice is especially cute.
Oh my God. Later, Fizz comes over with a Christmas card and she and Sally arrange a play date between Joanie and Hope. When Sally floats the idea, Joanie is less than impressed. First off, Hope is a nut job. And second, she's already been invited to a party at a girl's house who pierced her nose with a stapler.
And is also older.
Sally doesn't fucking think so, especially after the Prosecco business, so Joanie storms up the stairs of discovery.
Yes.
And she tries to sneak out later as Fizz, Hope and Ruby show up, but when she's caught, she throws a fit in front of everyone at Sally, calls her a cow, throws the Christmas tree to the ground, and smashes her personalised ornament. Sally is fucking furious.
Which explodes into like a million tiny pieces. It's like, what was that thing made of?
Hope and dreams.
Like hope? So
No.
it's like flesh?
No. The concept of hope.
Oh, the concept of hope. Okay.
Sally, did I mention how furious Sally was?
She's so furious.
And she's about to tell Joanie that she's going the right way about growing up into her fucking mother. And this is enough to send Joanie storming back up the stairs of discovery again.
Which is awful because somebody says something very similar to Brody this week.
Maggie.
Yes, but we haven't gotten there
okay.
yet. That's why I said somebody.
Fizz and Sally have a chat about this. Sally's worried that she's too old to be a foster parent. Fizz points out how hard it is as lines and boundaries. This was such good awareness from Fizz here.
Right, because
That
she
the-
was also in the foster care system.
Lines and boundaries are drawn over days and weeks here rather than months and years with the girls.
Right.
She tells Sally to persevere. So later, Sally apologises to Joanie for getting angry, but the anger was barely registered for Joanie, who's used to much worse. Sally apologises as well for bad-mouthing Lou, who's in prison, let's remember, and just wanted to create a Christmas to remember and a safe place for Joanie and Shanice, and for them to feel loved. Sally and Joanie make up with Die Hard and hot chocolate. Fucking belter, says Tim.
Absolutely.
And that's as far as we get with that.
The music was getting on my nerves because it was just the same music over and over and over again, and it's like, there's nothing on that television.
I'm going to guess that it is licensed and royalty free.
Yes. Yeah, I liked that whole interaction with Fizz and Sally. Like, even the beginning of it when Sally suggests that Fizz comes over with the girls and say, oh, we'll pop a movie in for the girls, and then you and I can sit in the conservatory and eat finger foods and drink wine and gossip. And it's like, oh my God, finally somebody is giving Fizz the night off she deserves and a break and the ability to hang out with Sally, you know, which isn't everybody's cup of tea, but it would be fun. And it's nice.
Well, they've worked together for years.
Right, yes. And it's nice that they structured this so that Fizz would be there to give Sally advice as far as fostering is concerned.
Yes, it was a good thing for the show to remember.
Right, yes. But it was just really nice to see these two adult women just looking forward to relaxing together and hanging out and putting their kids together. And again, poor Fizz has needed a break for a while, and here it just kind of falls into her lap.
Fizz speaking to someone outside of her place of work, to someone that she's not related to.
Yes.
Doesn't happen very often.
No.
What I thought was really good, and I've credited Shanice so many times because she just lights up the show.
She's such a cutie patootie.
In the same way that Doran does.
Or Susie.
Wee Susie.
Wee Susie.
But Joanie, I thought, managed to do that as well. And I liked the bit of range that she had, because when she's happy and full of life, she just looks so... I mean, you can read it on her face, just how much she's enjoying herself. And then when she's angry, it's like that character or that person was a million miles away. And I thought that was really good. It's probably a fairly expected and simple trait, but when you see it and it's in a kid actor, you're like, you know what? That was a good bit of work there, Joanie.
Yes.
I appreciated it.
Yeah.
And when you see her and Sally sitting on the couch
right
later, it's just lovely.
It is lovely. It's really nice.
It's fucking Christmas.
Yes.
This
is what we want for Christmas. This is what we want for Christmas. It was so glaring, too, because for the rest of the week, everybody's wearing Christmas jumpers and is delightful. And you know who's not wearing Christmas jumpers this week? Theo and Todd. Maybe if they were wearing Christmas jumpers, it would have been more palatable to watch them fight.
I think that detracts from the seriousness of the situation if they're wearing Christmas jumpers and antlers.
Maybe, well, not antlers, obviously, but Christmas jumpers may have made it even scarier.
It's got to be difficult to argue in a Christmas jumper, isn't it?
I'm trying to remember if we've ever had an argument while I'm wearing my Jean-Luc Picard Make It Snow sweatshirt.
I don't think so. I think we have argued while I'm wearing my Cannibal Corpse jumper.
Well, I mean, it speaks for itself,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
It gets you riled up. No, this was lovely. And again, the Tim and Sally unit works so well. It's so pleasing. This was a good little bit of Christmas here.
It was.
Not so much in our next storyline, a boring Christmas feud. Just a few scenes from Wednesday in this, Helen. Just a few scenes.
Just a few scenes.
On Wednesday, Steve's in his cab, chatting to Cassie on the switch, and she's bad-mouthing Tracy, calling her a sour-faced cow, when, of course, Tracy gets into the cab. Steve covers badly, saying he doesn't know why Cassie's got it in for Rita. Poor Rita. So later, Tracy goes round to the cab office, and when Cassie isn't looking, she takes a piss in Cassie's fancy new handbag, and she might even take a shit as well. It was hard to see. Later, Cassie accuses Tracy of this, says that she's jealous because she and Steve are in love, and asks for a truce.
Well,
but Tracy refuses.
It's not a handbag, it's a shopping bag with a dress.
Who
it's
cares?
A very special dress that Cassie has bought for the streetcar's Christmas party.
And the Rovers.
She's bought this
who
beautiful
cares?
new sparkly dress just for this party. A party in which I would have worn my Jean-Luc Picard.
Yeah, she would have.
It's
And
not
I would have
sweatshirt.
worn my Cannibal Corpse.
Sweatshirt.
Yeah,
Not,
it's
not
just-
a literal cannibal corpse.
This stank to me of, we've got 10 minutes to fill.
Yeah.
What are we going to do?
Yeah.
Oh, Cassie and Tracy don't get on. Let's give them a couple of scenes. I don't know. We mentioned this when it came up in the spoiler alert for last week. Didn't they sort this out? I thought we were beyond this.
Right, yeah. This is the sort of thing that they just like every once in a while they have to antagonize one another just so we remember that they're both in love with Steve.
Although I'm not sure I think Tracy is. I think she's just lonely.
Well, there is that.
Okay. Our penultimate storyline is a farewell to Dee Dee. Let's see what the land speed record is for writing a character out of the show.
Seriously.
On Wednesday, Ali and Dee Dee are chatting on the street. Dee Dee's still not told anyone about the job because she's waiting to tell them all at the same time, and that hasn't been easy thanks to Todd and Theo's storyline taking up all of Monday. Then Ed shows up, and so Dee Dee tells him about the job or parts of it.
Right, yeah.
Fuck everyone else. But she doesn't get a chance to tell him where it is before he has to rush off to the rape hotel. But they arrange to meet later with the boys. So,
Boys.
they all meet at the bistro, and Dee Dee's late. Bang on time. Not, says Michael, forgetting that Wayne's World was from 1992, and that patter was already overused by 1993. She tells him about the job and how she'll be fucking off to Singapore soon. James wonders if this means that she'll be travelling back and forth at the weekend on a 13-hour flight, and that's got hints of Alia saying, "That's miles away."
That's miles away.
So you're coming back at the weekends then?
No.
Yes. I'm leaving work at 6 o'clock on a Friday night, jumping straight onto a plane, flying 12 hours, and then sleeping for like 18, and then getting a flight all the way back to Singapore again in time for
work Monday
9
morning.
o'clock.
Yeah.
No, she won't be doing that, James.
No.
So Dee Dee has to spell out that she and Layla will be moving there on a more permanent basis. James is furious about this, calls Dee Dee out that this co-parenting was her idea, and accuses her of planning it. I'm not sure that makes any sense, but never mind.
I mean,
Of course she planned it.
she planned moving to Singapore,
Shouldn't
but I
wake
don't
up
think
and-
she planned to move to Singapore just to hurt your feelings.
No.
In
James-
fact, I don't think your feelings came into her thoughts
Not once.
at all, which is maybe the problem.
James goes off for a shite, but it's a sad shite as he cries in the cubicle and texts Carol for a quick hookup.
Yeah.
On Friday, in the pub, Carl's lost his phone. Glenda hasn't seen it.
What?
This is going to become important.
A lost phone?
You don't say. When did you last lose your phone?
Like 10 minutes before we started.
There we go. While he's there, he tries to start organising Ronnie's stag do, but the Baileys all grab their collar because Kev will be invited, and to keep the peace, Carl won't be. Separately, James is having texter's regret about the drunken message he sent to Carl yesterday, and he bumps into Carl and tells him that he was drunk and he didn't mean any of it. Carl, who has lost his phone, let's remember, doesn't know what he's on about, so James tells him to find the phone and delete the message before Abby sees it. Yikes, this must be good. So Carl hurries home, finds his phone
Carl is so excited because he thinks he's getting a dick pic.
Yep. Finds his phone fairly quickly, and as he's checking the message and thinking, I've still got it, Abby appears from nowhere and reads the contents over his shoulder. Thankfully, it isn't a dick pic.
No.
It's ambiguously saucy, so Carl is able to say that James was trying to make up to him for dinging him for the stag do. And while this works, and Abby believes it, it just gets Abby worked up to have a fucking word with James about this disrespect. So in the pub,
but it's weird because, again, James is also not the best man. So James has really nothing to do with deciding this.
No.
It would have been Ed.
so in the pub,
I'm assuming Ed is the best man.
I'm thinking so, yeah.
Yeah.
So in the pub,
It's not Michael.
do you know, sometimes I have to remember that Ed isn't Ronnie's dad.
Oh, dear.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, because then you remember what their dad looks like. and how he sounds.
Yes.
Because he's Jamaican.
And his name is Sarge.
Yes.
So in the pub,
I miss Sarge.
Abby has a go at James, who is able to work out what's going on, and so says fuck it and invites James to the stag do after all.
Which he can't do because he's not the host.
Now Abby thinks that she's Kofi Annan. Privately, James apologises to Carl but suggests that if he doesn't feel it with Abby, he should treat her kindly and end it. As all this is going on, Dee Dee and Alia are chatting excitedly about the move and Nina's roles, but James chooses to be an asshole about it and storms off. Billy's there to tell her that the only person she needs to answer to about any of this is God. So that cheers everyone up.
Because Billy remembers what his vocation is.
Dee Dee thanks Billy for his spiritual advice.
Yes.
What spiritual advice?
No, remember when she was feeling guilty because she had sex before marriage? And she went and she talked to Billy about it? Did you remember that?
No.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Billy is no Josh O'Connor when it comes to being a good priest, but because he's not a priest.
He's not a priest.
But still, he's no Josh O'Connor.
So, James goes to the pub where it's Lauren who has to try and talk sense into him about Dee Dee trying to make a fresh start after Joel. This shouldn't require a teenager to explain it.
She's not a teenager anymore, really, is she?
Yeah, I think so.
She's still 19?
I think so. But it kills James off and he apologises to Dee Dee, who goes as far as to invite him to join her in Singapore. Sadly, he turns this offer down. She also invites him to the farewell dinner at Speed Dial, but he knocks that back too. But genuinely, seriously though, he's happy for her in that.
Now, see, I would think that James would be able to find like a good coaching job in Singapore.
He really is doing nothing here.
Yeah, he's a personal trainer.
To nobody.
To nobody we know. I will say I think it's good for Lauren to be the person to say these things to James because Lauren, let's not forget, also has to live under this Joel cloud herself with her own Joel baby.
Right.
So it's nice that the show remembers that Dee Dee and Lauren have this Joel baby syndrome in common.
Yes, they have related babies.
Yes, although... And there's that too. So Dee Dee is not only taking this child away from her uncles and great uncle, great auntie, and grandpa. She's also taking her away from her half brother, whose name I can't remember. Ralphie. It's not Ralphie.
It's Clarence. It's Chauncey.
I think it may be Ralphie.
It's Frankie.
I got the IE part right.
Yeah. No points for that.
So on his birth certificate, does it say Frankie or does it say Franklin?
I think it's Frankie.
Or Frankfurter.
My best friend Brandon, his daughter's called Frankie. But it's Francis.
Oh, I was going to ask if it was Francine.
I don't think so.
Francis works too.
At Speed Dial, it's a lovely meal for Dee Dee where Lauren and Michael lie about how much their kids will miss Layla. Dee Dee thanks Alia for keeping her sane. Ronnie gives her a hug, says Debbie sends her best because Dee Dee is leaving before Christmas and her uncle's wedding.
Right, yeah, which makes zero sense.
There's no sign of James until later, just before she's about to get in a black cab with no luggage. And James says cheerio to Layla.
She does remember her baby, though.
Hugs Dee Dee, and then she's off and away from Coronation Street, getting the next tram to Singapore.
Which makes
One-way
sense.
driver, and don't spare the horses.
Yeah, she's not starting that job until the beginning of the new year. She does not need to leave before Christmas. There's no way she'd be starting that job this week.
I'm only surprised that she didn't leave at the start of the episode. And such was the hurry to get her away. Because when she tells her family,
right,
her flight is, in Coronation Street terms, the next day.
Right. Oh, I'm leaving. Brother who
Tomorrow.
I am co-parenting my daughter with, who I gave my daughter to and then decided that I wanted to be her mother after all. I'm taking this child that you've bonded with because let's not forget the first month of that baby's life, her parent was only James. So he has bonded with that child. Oh, I'm leaving with her tomorrow.
Any questions?
What?
No? Where Singapore? It's far away. It's more on the bus ride. Mm-hmm.
And I mean, they don't have to have like Dee Dee in any of next week's episodes until, January 1st, but it doesn't make any sense for her to leave today.
No.
Nobody believes that she is going to start her new job in Singapore tomorrow or Monday.
No.
The Monday before Christmas. That office is shut, even in Singapore.
And I loved how they got away with the lack of luggage. Oh, I'm just going to buy everything when I get going to buy everything.
Right, yeah.
Everything.
You're gonna, well, I mean, she's not going to take any of her furnishings and stuff, but you would think you'd bring a toothbrush, like a spare set of clothes. Mm-hmm. One would think.
Was this more hurried than Jenny's departure?
Yes. And Jenny's departure was ridiculous as well.
Jenny's departure was, I think, a similar time frame.
It was
mention it one day, leave the next day.
Yeah, it was.
Yasmin's was the same as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, as was Stu's.
So this is a thing. This is a deliberate thing that we don't fuck around with. Long departures. It's you make up your mind and then you go, and that's it.
Yeah.
And it's obviously a deliberate thing, but you've got to wonder how much plausibility are we selling in order to make this happen, because these are enormous life-changing
right, yeah,
departures that are made in the space of 24 hours.
Right.
Now, albeit, when I got my visa, my visa to work here, I got my passport back on Friday, and I was on a plane on Monday.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much the quickest I could turn that around, and that was 3 days.
Right. But there was also a fairly long process where you had to stand in line without a phone in your work shoes and getting blisters on your feet in order to get to that interview and everything, which does not seem to have happened at all.
And also a 4-month immigration process before it.
Right, yes. And let's not forget, English is not the first language of Singapore.
Isn't it?
I don't think so.
I think it may be one of them. Because, yeah, that's an official language.
But it's not like the number one language.
It's an official language, Helen.
Okay, fine. But still, it's not Manchester, and it's not even LA. It's Singapore. This is like, remember when Abby was going to immigrate to Costa Rica?
It's so funny.
She should have just tried to sneak into America. They would have sent her to Costa Rica.
Costa Rica.
It's
Shit. That was so much fun. I love talking about that.
This is similar,
Why not just they're making this so confusing? Just put her back to LA.
Right.
Why not just put her back to LA?
Right. I miss my friends in Los Angeles.
Presumably she's still got, maybe she had citizenship, maybe she's still got a green card.
She's got contacts, she's got friends there. Because the way they're like, oh, well, Layla will have a better life in Singapore. It's like, will she? Will she? Because neither one of you have any sort of family
There's
or
no roots there.
There's no roots there. She's like, oh, well, I'll work less hours, but you will be working. Mm-hmm. So that baby, for a portion of the day, will still be with other people.
It sounds like you're very much Team James on this.
Well, and see, that's the thing. If they moved her back to LA, that would make more sense because she would have a circuit of friends and she would have something there. Mm-hmm. And the way she's like, oh, well, the pay is better and the hours are better. You work literally 2 steps from your door.
But Adam calls her a workhorse. At least I think that's what he said.
Still. And there's the Adam thing too. It's like, here, you've gone into business with this man.
Aren't
And
they
then-
partners now? Isn't she a junior
She
partner there or
says that,
something?
yeah. She's a partner in this firm. Granted that it's just the two of them. And I don't think we ever see her tell Adam that she's moving.
We don't. The first we find out that Adam knows about it is
It's the day she's leaving.
today's episode, yeah.
It's like, I understand in this sort of circumstance, which is like with the Jenny thing too, where it's not where the person just wants to go. Mm-hmm. I get it. But do better.
Hey, at least she got a black cab.
She did.
But she didn't get the end of the episode.
No.
And it's really weird because the end of the episode didn't feel like it should have been the end of the episode.
No.
Dee Dee going should have been the end of the episode.
Yes.
But that's not what we got. Instead,
But at least we have people gathered around her saying goodbye. At least she didn't disappear like her mother.
and at least she didn't just walk across the street on her own like Jenny did.
Right, yes. Which just still angers me so much.
Jesus. All right, our final storyline tonight is Meet the Driscolls.
Meet the Driscolls. They're a modern Stone Age Irish family.
The O'Flintstones.
The O'Flintstone. The O'Flintstoney. The Blarney Stones.
Nope. Any advances on that?
No,
Nope,
I
okay.
think the Blarney Stones have it.
On Wednesday, Will is in Nina's Rolls chatting to Bernie and tells her that he doesn't have any friends here, so he'll be having a quiet Christmas. We'll see about that, says Bernie. Meanwhile, Maggie and I finally have some common ground when Maggie reckons that Daniel is the most boring man she's ever met.
That was hilarious.
Daniel and Megan.
That was so funny. When he's like talking, she asks him a question, a yes or no answer.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, and like he gives her a whole dissertation, and she's like, her eyes are so glazed over. It's so funny.
Yeah, it's when he answers it, and she kind of nods, and then she turns away, and then he continues to talk, and she's
Right.
like, oh, you're still going.
Yeah. It was so boring. I can't even remember what the question was.
I thought he was talking about what it's like being a teacher and inspiring kids and stuff. That man has not inspired a single person to do anything.
Except, drug him.
Daniel and Megan are drinking in the booth when Daniel nips off for a shite. Will's over in a flash, wanting another training session. But Megan wants to finish her drink first and promises him some time tomorrow on his birthday. His 16th birthday.
Oh.
The end of this interaction is seen by Daniel, who must have just done the quickest shite of his life. No wiping, the dirty bastard. And sometimes you don't have to wipe, but you really should check.
No, you should wipe at least once.
So at the bar, Daniel has a quiet word with Will, warning him off, saying Megan will never be more than his coach. Will tells him to go fuck himself.
Right, yes. And will Daniel have egg on his face eventually?
At this, Brody comes in with 20 quid off Bernie's money, wanting to know if Will wants to go out and play. But thanks to Maggie's involvement,
Go see a movie or something.
Brody goes along to the training session instead. After the training, it's clear that Brody quite fancies Megan, and he asks Will if he wants to go into town and spend that money, but Will doesn't fancy it, so Brody calls him a boring prick, so Will punches him in the face.
Well, he calls him a boring prick and then says, maybe I should ask Megan to go with me because she's fit.
It's quickly broken up by Megan, Maggie and Bernie, who all appear on the scene, as everyone agrees that Brody could fucking smash Will halfway into next week.
True.
Is it because Dylan can batter Brody, let's remember?
Well, Dylan had the element of surprise.
Ah, the element of surprise.
And if you see Brody and Will standing next to one another, yeah,
Will's all here.
Brody could kill him.
It looks like Bernie and Maggie are going to have a go themselves, with Maggie well aware that Brody's family are all in jail. Ben has a word with Will, wondering what's on that make him so angry, so Will makes up that his old girlfriend from Hull is back on the scene, and Ben thinks this explains everything, and then warns him that bitches be crazy. And Will... Yeah. And Will meets up with Megan and Speedall later, and she's furious that he's going to blow their cover. I
Yes.
quite like the... Bernie, my Brody, that That infuriates me for some reason.
Because he's not. Mm-hmm. Because, you know, he's barely Kit's Brody. Mm-hmm. And Kit is barely Bernie's Kit.
Right.
You know? And I mean, she means well, but it's like, I don't think Brody and Will have been in a scene together ever.
No, this was
like
one.
Their first time.
Mm-hmm.
They're teenagers. I'm shocked that Brody didn't just take that 20 quid and just go to town himself.
Yeah, get some booze.
Because that's exactly what Brody would do.
Get fucked on some Thunderbird or Mad Dog 2020.
Right, or grab Dylan and hang out with Dylan because they're friends now, remember?
On Friday, Ben and Eva Cakes pretend that they're too busy with the pub to acknowledge Will's birthday, so he fucks off to Nina's Rolls. Daniel dumps Bertie with Ken when Adam pops in to see if they want to be a team for the pub quiz tonight. And it's pomposity central at number 1 as Daniel and Ken practically fight each other to see who's the biggest asshole. It's a draw, and Bertie hates all of them. Daniel
says, why don't you do some Christmas crafts with Bertie?
Yeah, why don't you go fuck yourself, Daniel?
And Ken's looking at him like, have you ever seen me make like a construction paper handprint wreath in your life, or like a toilet paper Santa Claus?
Oh,
like the wee sheepy does in the Shaun the Sheep Christmas special?
So delightful.
It's so cute.
Daniel heads to Nina's Rolls to make a move on Megan, but gets a knockback. Will, though, turns up and presents her with a gift. It's a key card for a room at the Rape Hotel. See you there in a bit. Don't bother bringing your knickers.
Wink. And it's hilarious because it's like, it's an envelope.
Mm-hmm.
He hands her an envelope. And she acts suspicious as fuck with that envelope.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, instead of saying, oh, it's an envelope, and, you know, just opening it and looking inside the envelope, she freaks out. She, like, hides it behind the booth and looks into it. And it's like, you're supposed to be the one who knows how to not look suspicious here.
Yeah, it's just dreadful.
She's just, especially this week, all of a sudden, she's, like, really edgy.
He goes off quite cock-a-hoop about the whole thing, and she looks a bit uncertain. At the pub, the back room is all decorated for Will's birthday, but the birthday boy is a no-show, and he doesn't even answer his phone when his granny calls him. Can't say I blame him. At the hotel, Will has seen a romantic movie once, so the room is bedecked with rose petals and candles, and he dingies a potentially mood-killing call from Maggie, and he and Megan get their hole now that he's legal.
Gross! Gross! Gross!
Meanwhile, Bernie and Maggie make up and discover a shared interest in mystical mumbo-jumbo in the pub.
Yeah, I liked that. That was funny.
When Ronnie mentions that he saw Will at the Rape Hotel
Ronnie!
earlier.
Ronnie! I apologize to everyone, in spoiler alert, that I said Steve.
You did say Steve, that's right.
I said
You did.
Steve, because the spoilers that I read online said Steve. Ronnie makes so much more sense.
It makes more sense.
So much more sense, because I was like, why is Steve at the Rape Hotel?
Although it does beg the question. I know that there is no hotel guest confidentiality law, but
No.
this really ain't none of Ronnie's business to be spreading about here.
Right. Well, I don't think he would, and he wouldn't have said anything if they weren't like, we cannot find this child. And let's not forget, this is the second time this particular child has disappeared.
So, Ben and Ollie go off in hot pursuit, and somehow Ben discovers the room number.
Right, yeah. How did that happen?
Hammers on the door, demanding to get in. So Will, who has kept his socks on throughout his tryst with Megan, the way that they shoot that,
Oh, so gross.
but the way that they shoot it when you see the sock is it looks like it's Megan who's got these massive feet with dirty black socks on. Anyway,
It's the least gross thing in the scene.
it catches the eye. Anyway, he quickly ushers Megan into the bathroom, and she's now worried that she's going to go to prison. He concocts a story about entertaining Chloe from Hull, who's hiding in the bathroom, and she won't come out because she's embarrassed. So Ben and Ollie take Will back to the pub, shouting through the door that he'll pay for her taxi home. Back in the pub, Ben and Ollie spare Will's blushes by being vague about who the mate was that Will was with.
Right.
And so they're all able to celebrate his stupid birthday without further drama, although Eva Cakes seems to have her suspicions.
Yeah. I thought that whole thing was interesting, and it was like there must be a reason why, besides just saving face, for them not to say to Eva that it's Chloe. And it's like, is this going to be the thing that breaks this wide open? Does Eva know something about Chloe that would make it so that Eva would know that it was not Chloe in that hotel room?
So I thought they were really driven by Maggie not finding out. Maggie, big on the Catholicism, finding out that her 16-year-old grandson has been shacked up with, and I'm going to say, some tart in a hotel.
Yeah, but also Maggie seems to be the sort that, I don't know, cheats on her husband. And also, she does have that kind of vague boys will be boys air about her.
She also does have the holier than thou about her. So, do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah. She did freak out about, Will trying to kiss Lauren. But was that because Lauren is too old for Will?
Oh, little does she know. So, Will and Megan meet out the back in the Rovers, and she's pissed off about this Chloe person, and that Will used his bank card to pay for the room. But they're interrupted by Eva, who invites Megan in to celebrate Will's birthday. Isn't that nice, Helen?
Bull.
But even better, when Eva learns that Megan will be Christmasing alone in Hull, so she invites her to celebrate with them in the Rovers. And that is how we end this week's episode.
Well, no. And then Daniel gets invited to Christmas dinner as well.
Yeah,
that's the funny part.
Choose not to mention that.
That was the funny part.
And during all this, there's a pub quiz where Ken proves that he knows things about Catalonian Christmas logs.
Right, yes. And apparently Maggie is racist against Mexicans. And
she refuses to believe that
Eva knows
have witches, apparently.
Stuff about Norway.
Mm-hmm. Thanks to Sandy Toksvig, who's Danish.
Yes.
Which the show does point out.
Which is hilarious. I find it interesting that this is really the first time that Megan vocalizes the possibility of going to prison.
And she does it twice.
Yeah. And also, it just shows the immaturity of Will, that he's like, I'm 16 now, so now it's fine. Mm-hmm. And it's like, you weren't 16 yesterday. They're going to know this didn't just start today.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't.
And even if it had just started today, it's still a ridiculous abuse of power.
Right, exactly. It still grosses me out that 16 is the age of consent. I know myself at 16. And I know our kids at 16. And I barely want them to have any sort of relationships with people their own age, much less somebody who's significantly older and manipulative. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's genuinely not something that you really think about.
Yeah. It's like, people get shocked over here that 14-year-olds can get married with parental consent. They're like, no, that can't possibly happen. It's like, no, actually, in like a number of states, it's still legal. It's gross.
I mean, I think, yeah.
The prefrontal cortex is not
If
formed.
we could get through a week without mentioning the prefrontal cortex. I think the enjoyable part of this story is thinking about Daniel's future involvement in it.
Yes. Which, does that make us bad people?
I think so. The bit where Will and Megan are kind of intimate with each other
and they're in bed,
kissing when they're lying in bed.
Yeah, you just recoil.
Like I think I said last week on the spoiler show, from the still that we saw of that scene, there was something about him being in bed that made him look very much underage and made her look older.
Yes.
So it just made the age gap look even more significant than it is.
Yeah, because Will without a shirt on is obviously still a child.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's
And just to make him even more childish when they've had their roll in the hay.
right, and he's still wearing his socks.
Well, that, but also, I'm really hungry. Should we order some room service? They've got burger and fries.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you want a fucking Happy Meal?
Yeah.
Do you want a wee toy that you can build afterwards?
The only way it would have been worse is if he wanted the chicken nuggies.
A burger and fries. Yeah, that's...
But, you know, I mean, it's like, and you it's all about power, isn't it? It's all about manipulation and,
Right.
and power
And
rather
so-
than attraction.
And so it made me wonder, from Megan's point of view, was there a Will before Will? Was there someone else? Is this the first time that she's done this? Is there something about him being so young that she's attracted to? And now that he's legal, does that make it less attractive to her? Because I don't know if this is...
I don't really want to think about it.
I don't know if this is tied into her general demeanour this week, where she seemed less... Until she got to the hotel anyway, she seemed less into it. And
Right, yes.
when she saw the hotel card, she didn't look excited about it.
No.
Is that now because he's 16 and now the danger's kind of gone, and maybe that's what does it for her?
It's still dangerous at this moment for her. And she's
I think
acting even more.
I think it was more dangerous yesterday.
Yes. But it's still pretty damn dangerous.
Hmm.
But I try to think back to times that this has happened in real life with a teacher and a student. And when I think about an awful lot of those times, they stay together after the woman gets out of jail, sort of thing. And they have children together, and it's less creepy because he's a man now, but it's still creepy because you remember.
Oh, like that movie. What was the movie?
Yeah, which was based upon the real life happening. Mm-hmm. That movie with, what's her name?
It wasn't May to December, but it was something like that, wasn't it?
No,
May?
it's creepy in its own way. May to December. With Julianne Moore.
Yeah, it was called May December.
Oh. I think there's a movie called May to December with Winona Ryder and a man too old for her that I was thinking of. But yeah, exactly. And that's based on the case that was really shocking, and yet there were a lot of people who were like, oh, good for him, sort of thing. But the woman did go to jail.
Yeah, and in this situation, this is exactly the sort of horrendous banter that goes round about it. Is that they big up him, and
Right.
And Tim has intimated this as well when he's talking
Right.
about his relationship with Trisha, that he was the hero amongst his friend group.
Yeah.
But if the genders were switched in that, then
Right.
it's seen as being
And also,
much more clearly paedophilia.
when Ben and Maggie find out and Eva find out about this, oh my God, will they not be happy?
And we've been made privy to Maggie and what she's capable of.
Yeah.
Is
Megan better not be around any set of stairs.
Certainly not any heavily carpeted stairs, that's for sure.
Yes.
Because I can absolutely see her taking
Matters into her own hands.
due
Yes.
revenge for this.
Absolutely.
Oh well. That would do it then. That was the week that was Coronation Street. Helen,
It was.
what was your moment of the week?
Can you think of anything that was delightful?
Do you know, if I'm given moment of the week, it's probably not going to be delightful. Because I think the way the story was told on Monday is probably the moment of the week for me.
Right. We can't give it to the whole episode. Was there one moment in that episode that was really effective for
Yeah, I
you?
really loved it when Todd pushed Theo into the table.
Well, yes. I almost kind of want to give it to Kit and Todd in the interrogation room.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Todd's performance,
Gareth Pierce's performance, especially there.
Mm-hmm.
Especially there, because there's that, like I said, there's this aspect of the abused person, just like in his physicality, much less, let alone the words. That was just, I mean, like I said, put that man in a movie that's going to win him an Oscar.
Yeah.
Now.
Superb performance from Gareth Pierce, but particularly in that scene. That is our
Moment of the week.
Moment of the week.
Your boring moment of the week.
Catalonia,
Shitted Logs from Ken Barlow is our
Boring moment of the week.
Do you know, and I like it when things or people nip off for a shite, but that was, do you know, even the bit in the house before they went out,
yeah.
that was so very annoying as well.
Except for Bernie or Brody. Brody was cute in that because he got to say a line.
He did, and then he was just looking like, who are these fucking people? And why won't they shut up?
Yay!
Okay, we'll move on to our Yay Mates section of the podcast, which is where we ask our Twitter followers to rate the show that they watched this week in terms of yay, meh, or zzz, and the results so far are zzz 25.5%, meh 38.3%, and yay 36.2%. So leaning towards the positive there. Holly writes, I thought Monday's ep was the best thing they've done in ages. The clip of Todd standing up to Theo, then Theo going for him as it cut to the police car was genuinely chilling, and the dread just built and built. Really good. Enjoyed Maggie zoning out chatting to Daniel too. And then Jack Stringer says, it's always best to keep your socks on. Thank you very much for that, folks. But we do not let those results or those comments influence our scores, of course, Ellen. So what would you give the show out of 10 for this week?
I did not enjoy it as much as I enjoyed last week.
Right.
I'm just going to put that out there. But it was...
And now you're going to put a number to it.
But it was, all things considered, a decent enough week. There was no Becky.
Oh.
So 6.
I'm giving it a 6.5. I enjoyed it this week.
Yeah.
All right. We will wrap this one up then. This episode was brought to you with thanks to our friends of the podcast. Daisy, French Helen, Pickles, DT, Wendy, Noel, Canadian Helen, Christy, Shandy, English Victoria, Aurora Yvonne, Heather Westerfield, Russell Whiting, Jackie B, Brittany Porter, Laurie Anna, Tina, Stephen, Leah, Tara J, Fiona B, Canadian Jennifer, Josephina Tingy, Anne Greenwood, Trisha R, Sarah Purbrick, Ali Q, Hunker Munker, Darren, the artist formerly known as Seal My Fridge, Pamela, Marge JT, Tom Ambrose, Christopher Anstey, Terry in LA, Joe T, Corrie Dales, Matthew McKenny, Aussie Ali, Welsh Emma, Matthew S, Rachel B, Uranium Jennifer, Caroline and Amy Metcalf, and Catherine Montero. Thank you ever so much, folks. We very much appreciate it. Just gentle reminder, I'm going to be trimming this list in the next week or so. If you've ever trimmed a list in the next week or so, write to tell us about
had
it.
sex with your socks on.
We are the Talk of the Street at gmail.com, and we're at Corrie Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Threads and Blue Sky, or reach us the old-fashioned way, the Talk of the Street, PO Box 12, Eaton Rapids, Michigan 48827. Our spoiler show will be available shortly after this one, and in this month's classics we're talking about episode 2790. Get access to this exclusive content by becoming a friend of the podcast at ko-fi.com/thetalkofthestreet or patreon.com/thetalkofthestreet. Check out voggle.co.uk for links to our merch store, YouTube channel and blog. And if you're so inclined, please leave a rating and a review on the iTunes or your podcast provider of choice. And be sure to check out our pop culture sister podcast, The List of Lists.
Adam Sandler is an actor.
Thank you for making it to the end of another episode, and we will be back next week with more
The Talk of the Street.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Bye.
Bye for
Merry
now.
Christmas. Jingle bells.